welcome to another episode of Sophisticated Ignorance. I'm your host, Steven, and we are back at Dubway Studios. Even though you won't see him on the video, Vixon is back.
I mean, I already know who's behind the camera. Let's not play games. Let's not do that.
And Nieema is not in this week because she's at work, so that sucks. But hey, get your coins, sis. We ain't mad at you.
Get your coins.
But we have a special guest this week, all the way from Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
Carla from Shit I'm 30 podcast.
I'm here. Hello.
What
Talk
is
your shit.
Gucci? Florida, how's that going these days?
It's going the same with crazy people. Still hot.
We have this recurring joke of like every time we just happen to be on like Baller Alert, it's always like some crazy ass story from
Always.
Florida man.
It's
Commit
usually-
what was the last one we talked about? The Florida man that tracked down his
and
ex-girlfriend.
chop the dick off or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, so you know
Yes.
him. Familiar.
So
Of
you know him.
course.
So you know him.
I hear it all the time. It's like,
He's the homie.
no, fuck that.
He just did that on a calm
That was my
Tuesday.
neighbor. No, you hear things like our news. I love reading the news. And I shouldn't. That gives me anxiety. But I read them, and the stuff that happens in Florida is...
Yeah, it
people
just
are
doesn't
out
make
there.
sense.
But I just feel like people commute and move to Florida. So I don't think it's Floridians. I think it's people that move. I don't know.
Either way.
I hear you. That sounds rational, but I'm just gonna stick to Florida. Just has a bunch of crazy people.
And
We
I
do.
say this with every time I hear Florida. My mom is retired down there, and I just want her to be okay. I want her to really
Oh, she'll be alright. Where is she?
She's in Ocala.
Oh, there's nothing there but cows.
I
She's
mean,
good.
yeah, but I seen it like...
Till a cow goes mad.
I seen a Confederate flag or two around there, so it's like...
Yeah, but they're not too crazy. None of that. Like, I live in a all Trump supporters area.
Oh, fair.
And I have my dog shit all over their yard.
So is it Maga Lane? Is that
Yes,
that's your address?
I do.
Maga Lane.
1, 2, 3 Maga Lane, but it really is. Fuck you. But yeah, they're not too crazy. It's more
Okay.
like the country whites that are like that.
Well,
We
as
don't
long-
have them in
As
Central
long as they
Florida.
don't fuck up the Cracker Barrel. That's all I care about.
Oh no,
The
it's,
food is decent.
I
there.
can't stand Cracker Barrel.
Really?
Waffle House.
Then again...
No, Waffle.
Waffle House is a little shaky with the
With the-
publicity these days.
No, I mean,
There's only one.
I guess we're supposed to boycott it, but the food,
We're supposed
but the waffles are really
the way the
good.
It's gonna be
waffles
hard for me to like boycott food places. that I
Yo,
really
the
enjoy.
dirtier it is, and the less teeth the waiters have and the waitresses, the better the food is.
Authentic, yeah.
That's the same thing about Jamaican restaurants. If they
And-
give you
and-
attitude, the food is fucking amazing.
Right.
You ever go to a Jamaican spot and they act nice to you, just walk out.
Yo,
It's
if,
true.
if the Chinese spot don't got that rat in the corner chilling.
Word.
So you know we
Word.
eat cat half the time,
I mean,
and it's good. So.
niggas out here eating
I
pussy
wish
for
I could
less,
season
so-
my cat the same way.
So niggas out here eating pussy for less. So
Right.
there's...
Wait for less than.
And
Well,
commercials!
We'll move on from that one.
Yeah, let's get the real show started. So, as I mentioned, you are the host of Shit I'm 30 podcast.
I am.
And you do it solo, right?
I do. I started with a host, co-host,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "This is not for me,"
Mm.
and I freaked out a little bit. And I was like, "No, what am I supposed to do?" So now I do it solo, and every week I have a friend. So it's Carla, Maris, and friends.
Right.
So I always have someone that comes in some type of guest.
I give you credit for that because there was like a short period of time because Nieema was like recovering from a surgery, and I think you were away.
Yeah, I was out
Oh no,
there.
you was dealing with some family stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was doing the show solo and had to find somebody every week to
It
do
was
the
definitely
shit, and the
Steven
shit was
Friends for a
fucking
couple weeks.
It's hard.
stressful as fuck.
It is definitely difficult sometimes, but it's been pretty good for me so far.
That's what's up.
Right,
Because
yeah.
because we was talking about breaks before we started recording,
did.
and that was a big reason why I took a break is because somebody flopped on me with
Oh,
no
what's happened to me?
with no like warning or anything. They
I had a
just
stripper.
fucking-
I was trying to get the stripper episode for like 2 months, and these hoes would not show up and cancel last minute. And I'm just like, why? Like,
Mhm.
you technically don't have a 9 to 5, and if a nigga says to you, like,
You got time.
right?
You got
Yeah,
time.
we're trying to do this in the daytime. Like, when do you don't strip in the daytime? Like, I got the ones that strip at night, but I guess they're doing something in the daytime. But they have no consideration.
So
of
yeah, at
time.
least you got a heads up. Mine's just
No,
like
I
fucking-
didn't get a heads up. The bitch didn't show up.
Oh.
A lot of them, or they would cancel the day of a couple hours before.
That's called a cornflake in the streets.
Yeah, well, they're fucking corny as fuck.
Hence corn.
I was so.
Yeah,
that's a sore
that shit
subject.
gets me
That
fucking heated.
that part, that stripper episode, it's a sore subject for me because I went through like 5 bitches.
Well,
But then the one I got, she was really good, so that's cool.
I I guess these hoes aren't loyal.
Then you're not loyal.
I hear you,
so
Chris.
Mad.
I feel your pain. I understand now.
I know my niggas be like so mean to him sometimes.
I'm not supporting these statements. Carla's thoughts are Carla's alone.
We're just rolling the dice here, friends. Let's hope we get triples.
So, what inspired you to do the show?
So, how old are you guys?
I'm 31.
I'm 30.
Perfect. So, you guys will understand the fact that when I was turning 30, I was about to be 30, but before, you're supposed to have your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're like, by your 30s, you should either be married, have the job you want to do, white picket fence, your kids, like, you should have your life figured out, and that's not fucking true. So, I was turning 30, and I had my child at 18. I didn't finish my bachelor's until the day before my 30th birthday. Then, I worked. I never asked anybody for help. I feel like I was married. I got divorced. So, there was, like, you're doing everything wrong still. Like, you didn't do things the right way. And I'm like, what the fuck is the right way?
Right.
And nowadays, I'm just like, whoever's telling me it's a fucking dub anyway. Like, they don't do shit with their life. Or they've been a housewife all their fucking life. Or something. I'm like, why are you judging me for doing what I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ashamed of what I do. So I started a blog in December.
Mm-hmm.
And I was writing about it. It was cool. But then I'm like, I know I need to talk about it. I need to be able to, like, my fucks to be emphasized. For them to understand what I'm trying to say.
You gotta feel this.
Yes, y'all gotta feel when I'm mad, gotta feel when I'm feeling funny, gotta feel when I'm feeling sad. So I started the podcast, and I literally fell in love the second I got in front of a mic.
Is there like a particular episode for people that's listening now that may not be familiar? Is there like a favorite episode of yours that they should tune into?
I have a few. I have one with a financial advisor that I love.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was episode 19.
People have been begging us to do one of those.
Yes, I did a financial advisor. I did a solo one that you guys, I believe, listened to is when I met Charlemagne.
Yeah,
and it was a big leap for me.
That was a real tearjerker.
I know. I'm sorry.
I was at work. I was at work like, yo, what the fuck am I listening to right now? I had to brace I had to step back and step away from my desk. Like, let me gather myself.
It's called getting your life, sir.
I had a guy DM me. I had so many DMs, but I got a guy DM me. He's like, I had to just go ahead and punch a wall real quick to make sure I was still a man.
All right.
He needs anger management.
Right. I was like, so you've never cried before in your life? I'm sorry. I was pissed when I cried because I'm like, okay, Carla, relax. What the fuck is wrong with you? You were just telling a story. Right. But I got in my feelings. It was just this much time. It was just like 5 seconds. I got myself.
It felt like an eternity for me.
I felt that. Yeah, I definitely felt that.
Yeah, so that one was really good. And I had one with an attorney, which literally it was James Smith. He's a criminal attorney. They call him the Johnny Cochran of Orlando. And he is literally the smartest man I've ever sat and spoke with. It was that's one of my favorite episodes.
I'm gonna have to tune in.
He is just so fucking smart.
Yeah, we need a law episode. How to avoid it.
How to finesse the system. Word. So you kind of digged into, you turning 30. So was there like this whole, was it like a one-time thing, like everything hit you at once, or was it like kind of gradual of like everything that you thought you were supposed to accomplish?
Yeah, so I was turning 30, I was getting my degree, my father had just passed away a year prior, so I was just like, I just want to be me, and I don't want to care about what people think anymore. I never really have, but I also did. So I would talk shit, but it would get me in trouble, and then I would try to like stay in that lane that I'm supposed to be in, and then when I didn't want to, it would turn into like some type of fight, and I didn't want that anymore. I just wanted to be myself. So yeah, I just started it and said, I'm going to do me. And I was doing me, but it wasn't really me. I was an accountant for 5 years. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to be in accounting anymore. I'm like, I'm doing this because my daughter needs to eat. She's hungry every fucking day. Like, I can't get away from it. I need to feed her and take care of her. Mm-hmm. So I was doing accounting, and then I got to the point where I'm like, this is not what I want to do anymore. And I don't want to do it, and I'm not doing it for anyone else. Because they kept telling me I needed to work corporate. And I'm like, but why? Because you're a woman? Okay, no. You're a mom, so I didn't care anymore. So the podcast gave me the freedom to really say what I was thinking that I wouldn't say before.
I could tell just based off of listening to the episodes, like it's really therapeutic for you.
It really is.
And you're like very transparent.
Oh yeah, but I've always been that way. It gets me in trouble a lot.
Well, fuck them.
Right. That's I wanted them to understand that one in the podcast. Fuck you. But it is very therapeutic. But I'm in therapy too.
So,
I need to do that.
Our co-host, Nieema, she said that when she was turning 30 that she felt like, I think one of her friends was talking about her 30 experience, and she was sharing how she felt like she was transforming into like something else. So did you feel a transformation when you were turning 30, like a werewolf or like a crazy unicorn? Like,
I'm talking about like a unicorn too.
Animorphs, like...
No, I became more confident.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I'm not in my 20s anymore. So you hear everyone saying I'm going to use my 20s to fuck off. Sure, yeah, but then you turn into your 30s and it's like you know who you are. Now I'm like, I'm cool. I can do what I want. I'm grown, basically. Who's going to tell me I'm not grown?
Was there anything that specifically happened that gave you that revelation? Like a book did you read, or you went through like a life-changing experience?
I think my life-changing experience happened at 29 when my dad passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I lost my safety net, and I knew I had to like my shit was together, really. It was just on my own.
Get your shit together on your terms.
Yes.
Right.
Without having to work, like knowing that I can always fall back on him if anything were to happen.
He was your anchor. Yeah.
He was my anchor. He really was. Not have to be my own anchor.
That makes sense.
I get it.
So always I think something happens for everyone in a different way, and I think that was probably my turning point.
Yeah, I would probably say my turning point happened at like 28, and I finished reading the 4 Agreements, and that just like literally changed my life.
I've heard a lot about that book, and I read a lot of books.
Yeah, it just made me just look at life and the world completely different, and I've just been like nonchalant ever since. Like nothing really phases me anymore. Like even at work, like now we're moving into like live chat, and they're telling us like, oh, don't stress about customers and how they talk to you. I'm like, I really don't give a fuck what they say.
Right.
They could chat me. They could say the most racist or craziest thing on live chat. Sir, you have no idea the conditions I'm living in right now. I'm completely fine. Whatever you got to say right now.
That's really hard to do sometimes for some people because they take everything to heart.
Yeah, that's probably like a big thing that I wish I could put onto other people. Because I have conversations with them and they'll tell me like shit that they're dealing with and how it affects them. It's like, yo, you have your whole life ahead of you.
They need to read that book or The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Such a good book. Yeah, it's by Mark Manson. Really good book.
That sounds like a read.
Yeah.
Adding that to the list.
Yes, The Art of Not Giving a Fuck is a really good book.
Yeah, because since then I can only control what I can control.
Yeah.
I can't
control the people.
Yeah, I can't put energy into shit I can't control. And that brings me so much just a peace of mind since then.
Because we want to have, I think by nature we all want to have control of our lives and have control of certain elements, but certain things that we can't, you know what I'm saying? And those are the things we have to let go, and it's hard. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to craft your life into something that's worth something, you know, that you want to be proud of. Shit's not always going to add up. You know
and it's a struggle to get there at first. When you decide this is where I want to be, there's going to be a period of time that you have to struggle. Like, I knew when I finished school, I wanted a certain job and I wanted to pay a certain amount. And it was a struggle that last year because I wasn't working. And it was hard. It was hard. Then I start working and I'm making really good money, but I'm like, now I got to pay these credit cards off. So my goal was like, in a year, pay off credit cards. I needed to have a certain amount saved by December, which is what it been this December coming up now. And I got all that done by August. So that's when I took my leave.
Look at that.
But it was a year of you need to buckle down.
Yeah, sacrificing, really putting a budget on yourself, and just looking at things as like, do I really need this?
Ugh, that's the hard part.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Because I really feel like I need certain shoes sometimes.
I mean, I ain't mad at you.
Or like I really need to go to Chick-fil-A.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah,
and then sometimes you feel as though like, yo, I'm busting my ass. I need to treat myself.
Right, and you should. You definitely should.
Yeah.
But then it feels better. Like my goal was to do a certain amount of things to then be able to quit my job, and then that's what I did.
Oh yeah, congratulations on that.
I did.
You got a standing ovation, sis.
Yeah.
Right.
I did. I quit 3 weeks ago. It's fucking amazing.
All right, you on a high.
It's so good. I love it. I'm just like
wake up and just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes, I mean I was already doing that, and I was fucking off at work and I knew my mind wasn't in it. So when I got there, I'm like, I already have everything that I needed by December. Why am I waiting? So that's when I quit and I did my live show.
Fair. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So in that, with realizing that there were certain things that weren't ideal for you, was there a part that social media played into it too? Because I think for a large population of us, since we're like the first generation that's growing up on the internet, we see a lot of shit and we determine like that's success, or we need to be doing the same thing this person does. And when we don't do it, or we see that that's not really attainable, then it causes us to be insecure or become depressed. So did social media ever play a part in your life?
I always knew social media was bullshit. A lot because, and from my background, I would see niggas and chicks flexing so hard on the ground. And I knew that either they slept on a mattress on the floor or their chains and Rolexes were fake. Like, I'm just like, this is all bullshit. All, like, 90% bullshit. Oh, yeah. And it's a highlight reel of your life.
Yep.
They're not showing when you're, like, crying, when you see relationships, they're all so damn happy. And really, I know them he's cheating on her and she's miserable. She's crying after she takes that picture. Or it's a TBT from a year ago and now, like, fighting. So I never took social media that serious, but it has been a great tool for me to see outside of where I am in Orlando. So I'm here now, and I've seen you guys, and I've heard y'all's podcasts and other podcasts and radio personalities and different jobs, and I've seen those through social media. And I wouldn't know that certain things are possible in jobs that I applied for, and me being on the radio, it was all through social media.
But that's using social media the right way.
Yeah. Yes.
Very beautiful.
You have to use social media the right way. You can really fuck up using social media the wrong way.
Yeah. I think we see a lot of that now. It's just people living outside of their means. Or just trying to portray shit. That people don't do shit for themselves anymore. Like, people do shit for the appeal of others.
It's not authentic at all. It's just like, why do you have to create this rose-colored glasses version of what your life is when we know you're struggling?
Yeah.
It's okay.
And the crazy part is, you're doing it for fucking strangers. It's not even people that personally know you.
No, I just did an article on one of my episodes. It was a couple that would do pictures like on cliffhanger, like by cliffs, and doing these dangerous, adventurous pictures.
Yeah, white couple?
29, no, they were Indian. They moved here from India. They were living in California. They had all these pictures. They died. They fell off the fucking cliff.
Because they're doing it
for the gram.
I think I heard it was some YouTubers that died trying to do some shit for YouTube as well, or something like that.
Yeah, and she had just posted a thing about like, oh, doing it for the gram is very dangerous, myself included, blah, blah, blah. She had just done that post, and then they die.
First of all, you're not Will Smith, so you need to relax.
And Will Smith has a whole crew to make sure he doesn't die.
Will Smith could pull shit off. Not so much.
Well,
their pictures were great until they died. Were. Now that's what, I mean, they died doing what they love, I guess.
Was it really love?
R.I.P.
It seemed like
R.I.P.
I don't know, but then we don't know what it seems like on Instagram might not be real.
Hanging around a cliff don't look like love to me.
Well, they might just love the thrill of it. Is the thrill.
I can make an inappropriate pun here, but I think we're just going to move on.
Why? I want to hear it.
No,
Go ahead.
It's too soon. I don't know how long ago this shit happened. Like,
it just happened like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
We don't know them.
It's not fresh.
Yeah.
True.
Get your shit off.
I mean, ride or die.
Hey.
Yikes.
They rode and they died.
And there you have it.
They snapped and then they died.
Wow.
Shout out to them.
Yikes. I think they were shouting when they fell. So that's really a shout out.
Wait.
Next question.
Let's go.
Oh man, let's switch up the mood here. So it's safe to say that everything that you've thought of, you've been able to get to become your reality.
So far, yes. There's so much. Oh my god, I haven't even like touched the surface yet.
So do you believe in manifestation, basically?
Absolutely. I know that when I've had negative thoughts and I've been wanting to, like, I think about not being able to do it, or the fear has held me back, and it held me back for a lot of years. And now I'm just like, fuck it. I'm doing what I want to do, how I want to do it. Calculated risk, of course. I'm not just saying like fucking and walking out, or like taking food off my daughter's mouth to go on a flight.
If you're the fucking Target supervisor, don't just be like, you know what, I'm about to start off fresh. You might want to keep that, my
you
guy.
Need to keep the job on the side. No.
Save the fuck yous. Just hold on to that.
Yeah, there's a fear.
Yeah, leave the fuck yous in another aisle. Focus on the one you're in right now.
Scream that shit in a pillow and just keep it moving.
Yeah, I'm thinking positive, and I'm thinking about everything that I want to do, and I'm just going for it. I'm doing every little step to get there.
Word.
I think that's key, because I think a lot of times people have these grand ideas, and like we're joking, like they just go out on a limb and just fucking do it. And it's like, no, just because you've seen this person do it, and they may not even explain like all the steps they took just to get there, just don't go out on a whim. Like, do your research first. See if that fucking makes sense for you in your life.
Correct.
Sometimes people want to do someone else's dream and someone else's passion just because they were successful on it.
Yeah, like people love to be at the end goal, but they don't see like the steps to take.
The struggle and that journey, and the journey is the best part. I was telling people when I started the podcast, I taught myself how to do the editing. I built the studio. I'm doing everything myself, and I have loved every second of every late night, every early morning, every struggle when things wouldn't work. It was good because now when something breaks down, I know exactly how to fix it.
But see, that's the glorification of the journey. Like, everybody thinks that the journey's going to be, hard work and struggle, yay, it's going to be great at the end. But they don't anticipate the dips. And when the dips come, that's when people want to give up.
They suck. I've wanted to give up so many times.
Exactly.
And I've cried, and I'm just like, okay, let me go back and do it. Let me try again.
Shit, bro.
And every time something low like that has happened to me, and I push through it, something great has came out. Exactly. Like the last time that I wanted to quit was when I hit the top 200 in iTunes, and I was ready to quit. And I said, fuck this, the episode ain't working, this is stupid. And then that happened the next day. And then it's happened a few times, and I'm just like, okay, maybe.
Oh, you lit out here, yo.
Not yet.
I'm trying to be modest.
It's coming.
She was talking mad shit off camera, though.
I was not. Chill. Oh, no, when I'm ready to talk my shit, I'm talking
You should have seen her list of demands prior to coming to the show.
Yo,
I need a bowl of only blue M&Ms.
They're actually in the corner. Y'all can't see them on camera.
Oreos and M&Ms.
But nah, it definitely makes sense. Because there's been people that have approached me, like, in the street, but like, yo, how you guys do it? And it's like, yo, this shit requires work. Like, there's plenty of times when none of us really want to fucking drag ourselves out the fucking bed to come record at the studio.
Y'all have like cold times, like when it's cold outside, and when the train is fucked up.
I mean,
There's so many other, like I'm in my house, so my biggest thing is a guest not showing up or whatever.
Yeah, you can't be late. Because you're at home.
I would before when I was leaving work, and I leave up work at 5, I had to pick up my daughter, had a guest showing up at 7, I had to make sure like she ate, and and then after that edit it, post it, so I wouldn't go. It would be a lot, but I was home, so I made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's good.
It requires a lot, because I think that's why you see this influx of just podcasters just popping up, because they see like maybe a Mandy and Wheezy, or they see a Charlemagne and see them, selling out arenas or whatever. It's like, nah.
It's not that easy.
It requires. We haven't done a fucking live show yet, and we going on 2 years.
I just did mine.
Congratulations.
How was that experience?
It was amazing. I was scared shitless. I was like, who the fuck is going to come watch me live?
That's the same issue we're having.
No, I was terrified. And the place where I did it, the art gallery, he's like, no, you need to do it. He's been listening for a while. The studio where I record out of, they reached out to me and they're like, I think I like your podcast. And I'm like, well, he's like, we'll do it. Like, we'll do the sound. Here's the place. And I'm just like, I'm not ready. Like, I'm really not. I'm sitting in front of.
You're not gonna know until you actually do it.
I did it, and
for us? You won't know until we do
I did. I wanted 40 people, and ended up selling out 80. And it was the best experience. I had people fly in that I didn't know from different cities. And I listen. Weird. One came from Chicago, a couple from Rhode Island, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Georgia. I was like, who are these people? But they were so fucking awesome.
They came for you.
They were so dope. It was a great experience, and it just makes me feel like this is what my passion is and what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. So I felt good.
That's probably the big thing about our show also, because for a long period, because we originally came up with the idea in like January of 2016, and we was just not bullshitting, but like procrastinating on when to actually start the show. I was looking for studios for months and couldn't find one. Really? And then right before we was like, all right, September, we gotta fucking do this. I found Dubway, and we recorded here for the first time, and it's just been fucking seamless ever since.
That's good.
That's just the universe is fucking funny.
But it's so crazy how certain doors open for me or for you guys or for whoever's doing something that they want to do. The doors will open. Just take the chance and work it. Because I've been doing it since March. I was working full time. I was just putting extra time in there. So just do what you have to do. It's not easy and it's hard, but it pays off in the end.
And you got to be patient too.
So patient.
So, bro, patience is fucking key.
Major key.
Major key.
Major key.
And I'm not a patient person.
Same.
At all. I am such an impatient bitch. Like, it's so bad. Poor boyfriend of mine.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him, seriously.
Yeah, I'm the patient one of the relationship, so.
Oh. Yeah, so is he.
Someone gotta be.
Right. 2 impatient people, that's it. Somebody's gonna kill each other.
Oh, yeah, word.
yeah, I couldn't do it. But, so you are ready for your next phase in your
I am.
life.
Which is radio. So I'm this close. I'm waiting for an answer.
The answer gonna come.
He
gonna hear this, and he be like, you know what?
That's it, she's ready.
Seal the deal. We gotta seal the deal. So, so the pressures that you were facing earlier, were they coming from family? Were it just internalized stuff like, marriage and...
No, fuck marriage. I've been there, done that. I don't want it again.
Oh, fuck marriage.
Yeah,
oh,
I don't want to do that again.
Done. All right. Well.
Yeah, I've been in a relationship for 5 years, and I love him. I just don't want to sign another paper.
I never believed in the whole paper.
Yeah,
We're good.
I'm in that aspect also.
I mean, yes, I respect marriage as an entity, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but
the paper thing don't make sense.
The paper, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It does and it doesn't. I mean,
some people really want it, and they want the wedding, and they want that, and that's cool for them, and I understand it. And I think I wanted it back then. I didn't have a wedding. I was young. I was like 18. But to me, it's not worth it. I'm happy the way that I am, and I'm not changing my fucking last name.
Live.
Happiness at the end of the day is the most important thing, marriage or not.
Yeah, but mostly it was family. Family ain't shit sometimes.
Ain't shit. Sometimes.
A lot of times.
Sometimes.
I guess it depends on who it is.
Yeah, but you always have some family, and then there's it all depends. Like, I have a cousin that I talk about on my podcast, and he's fucking amazing. He's a pastor, but I talk to him just like this. And he lets me be me, and he supports me. So I have all that with him, but then there's other ones that just don't support you at all. And you just have to stop being angry about it. I talk about it in therapy, and she's just like, you have to just let it go and live your life. And I'm like, you're right. Because being angry is not helping anybody.
Yeah, just let them go.
Yeah.
It's fine. Whatever.
You see that phone call? It's like, I'm letting you go now. Decline. Decline.
Block.
I have to figure out what I want to do with that one yet. I've been dealing with that.
They need to create a group block. As in, you just select a list of people and just block them all together.
Word, just put them in your contact list. Like, this is family, this is my cousin.
Instead of the group chat, it's the group block.
Group block.
Oh, yeah, no, don't worry about it, Auntie. You're on the group block. You good.
No, there's a few unblocked.
So in your 20s, what was happening? What was going on?
Yeah, what was shit I'm 20s about?
I was taking care of my daughter. I started off working where the fuck was I? I had random jobs. I had my daughter. I worked at Build-A-Bear when I was 18. Then I worked at the hospital.
Is Build-A-Bear still open in New York City?
Oh, in New York? I don't know.
I mean, there's still Build-A-Bears. I don't know about New York, though.
Okay.
They were pretty cool. I don't know. I worked in the hospital. Then I got really sick. I was diagnosed with cancer. And I was a Tuesday. Thursday, I was in surgery. And my dad made me quit the hospital that I was working at. And he's like, I don't want you to work anymore. Let's open up a pawn shop. My family had pawn shops. So we opened up a pawn shop. So I was working at the shop for a couple of years. And I got into a fight with my mom. And I was like, I'm leaving this shit. I'm going to get my own money. Like, fuck that. I can take care of myself. So I went to the club for 4 years. And I made the most money I've ever made in my life.
Shout out to the club.
Oh, what? I was making so much money. And then my friend got killed. He was a DJ who I worked with very close. So I said, okay, this is the time for me to leave. And I left and I finished school. And I've been an accountant ever since 27.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It was totally different, and I'm just like, I wanted to deal with money. Accounting was probably not the right way to do, but I wanted to know the back end, because I'm like, one day I'm gonna be making money. I'm gonna need an accountant. You always hear about all these financial advisors or accountants taking people's money. Well, nobody's gonna take my money. So
I'll shoot a nigga.
Right. I want to know. There was like a football player that got scammed by their financial advisor. He was waiting outside the door to kill him. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he was gonna shoot him, and I don't want to go to jail for shooting nobody.
Well,
especially for taking my money.
If you pay another financial advisor to pay the guy to shoot him, then you're safe.
No, then you're still fucking going to jail. You don't watch fucking court TV? I watch Forensic Files all the time. You're gonna get caught. What? I can't go to jail. I don't want nobody ripping me in the butt with a fucking broom.
Right,
well, that's a visual.
That's not how it always works. But,
I feel like this is gonna happen to me.
All right.
You never seen Orange Is the New Black? And never seen anybody get raped there.
I didn't see any.
I feel like they have. They haven't.
Brooms?
They have brooms.
Do they have brooms?
I mean, these are the real questions.
They do. They have mops and shit.
Yeah. There was that one season where they used the broom to smuggle in some drugs.
No, I've seen movies where they rape people with sticks in the butt.
All right.
Tell me those movies so I can avoid them.
No, just avoid jail. Just avoid jail. Period.
Okay, I'm gonna avoid the movies and jail.
Yeah, that's how I avoid jail. That's it.
Everything dangerous.
And brooms. No more brooms in my house.
Fuck the floor.
Word.
Fucking rape machines. Get out of here. Rape is not funny. Let's keep it.
So all right. So you clearly been through. You've been through a lot. So is there anything you're most proud of since you've overcome all of this?
My kid. As much as I want to strangle her sometimes, he's a fucking teenager.
Y'all be beefing, yo. I be watching your IG stories. Y'all be beefing.
How old is your daughter?
13.
And what does she think about your
She loves it. She was my door girl at the live show.
Okay, put her to work.
Yeah, oh, of course. Child labor
For
episodes.
5 cents a day, you too can hold this door.
Nah, shit, she gets paid more than that. You know how much she eats? And all the clothes she be asking for, the activities, she's getting paid. And she got a roof over her head. Be grateful.
Facts.
Help your mom. So my daughter loves it, but she's such a dope kid. Like, she is really, like, one of the coolest person I know. So she's my biggest accomplishment.
Considering the youth these days, it's glad that you're raising.
There's a lot of trash kids out here.
Oh my God, a lot. They ain't shit. But it's because their parents ain't shit.
Right.
I know it most of the
It's
time.
just a shitstorm.
Yeah.
Yes, it's bad. She goes to school with some kids, or I've heard some things about other kids, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Where are the parents? And the parents are right there, or the parents just aren't there,
They don't
which
give a fuck.
sucks
Right.
for a kid that you're growing up.
Because I know we were bad to a certain extent, but these new generation
we
was
were
just-
Mischievous, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad would imply like, yo, we ready,
Well,
we fitting to die.
There's no reason for that.
It's juvie or nothing.
Well,
Like,
there's
I-
no,
right.
There's no reason for junior Crips back then.
I mean, word. So
They were. I remember Latin Kings in my school.
What?
oh, we were fucking
Wait,
weird
wasn't
when it
that a
came
New
to-
York thing only?
We were weird when it came to games.
No, so I
It
went,
was like-
and I was in a mostly white school at the time. My elementary and middle school, so they were like these Spanish kids that would come from New York. That's when like people started coming down from New York, and I was just like, "Oh, y'all in gangs? Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go back to play basketball." But I was cool with them because I'm like, I don't want y'all to fight me. I was cool with everybody.
Yeah, you have to get cool to protect yourself.
Yeah,
Not 'cause
but
you
they were
down.
fake.
Not because you
fucking
were
gangs.
down. I mean,
They were fake ass gang members anyway. They were in middle school. They just would fight and get in trouble or go rob the store and take candy or something like and leave. That type of shit. I'd be damned if my daughter do some shit like that. I'm gonna let her stay in juvie.
Well.
And I've told her that. Don't you do some fuck shit like that, I will bring you in myself.
and then you have to watch out for the brooms.
I'm talking about the brooms.
put the fear of brooms in.
I'm gonna wait till she's like 16 for that fear.
All right,
Not yet,
yeah.
not yet. I got 3 years.
Too young.
Too soon.
Too soon for that one.
So, have your parents been always supportive of everything that you've done?
No.
Wow.
She said that with a laugh.
Did you say knock knock before you asked the question?
No. My father, always.
Mhm.
I would have had my dad. My mom, not so much.
Yikes.
For me, it's the total opposite. Like, me and my pops still beef to this day about
Yeah?
my life choices. The fact I'm not a doctor is, like, his biggest disappointment.
This is
Oh my
shit.
god.
Yeah.
Oh, what is he though? Is he a doctor?
Retired.
Is he a doctor?
What did he do?
He was a janitor.
Oh, well.
Right. It's like your parents want so much more. They want to live through you.
Mhm.
What they would have wanted to do, they want you to do. And it's like, don't put those expectations on your kids.
I mean, it's noble, but at the same time, it is a lot of pressure. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Of course, they
Because you can't be yourself.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're not considering you. It's about
Right.
them.
And that's probably like the biggest issue that I have with him, because of like for a long period of time I just wouldn't explain why I was pursuing what I was pursuing. But then I eventually reached the point where I was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to this man so he can kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
Had to talk, still nothing.
They're hard headed.
Yeah.
and their versions of success is way completely different than ours.
So
Yeah.
You know what I'm
different.
saying? Yeah.
So for them, they never had.
And
these
then
type of
what makes it
opportunities.
worse is like he's a pretty intelligent guy. Like my mom is shitty with technology. My pops has always caught on to technology as it's advanced. So he's a pretty intelligent guy. He's never hired anybody to do any work at the house. He's always done it himself. Either he knew it already or he'll
Right.
teach himself to do it.
It's like a handyman.
Yeah, so it's like it's crazy that there's all this information that's out there that shows how shit is different for people in our generation, and he just completely ignores that.
Yeah,
It's like,
they
no,
they pick
you
and
was born
choose.
here. You was born here, so you supposed to just fucking excel. It's like, no, that's not how it fucking works.
But excel, like,
Definitely
how? You can excel in different ways. There's a teacher that might excel at her job and she loves it and she's making $40,000. That's what she wanted.
Exactly.
She's happy doing that.
And
So
I think
why
that's
put-
probably the biggest thing with that generation is their whole concept is I did this in order to survive, as opposed to us where we're doing this for happiness.
Yes.
Right.
I want to be fucking happy.
Exactly.
I see a lot of miserable motherfuckers. And when I quit my job, I was thinking about quitting. I was thinking about like going into this and I really do want to do my passion, pursue it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, fuck, I'm 30. My father passed away is what I say every time. My father passed away at 60. So if I die at 60, I still have another 30 years. That's a long fucking time to be miserable.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for us to imagine our parents at their 30, because they're 30 and our 30 completely
Yeah,
different.
completely
Two worlds.
You know what I'm
different.
saying? So it's just
Fucking Coca-Cola is like a nickel. Fucking nickel.
A nickel and a piece of lint. You know
and
what I'm
they were glass and cute. You know, now we have cans, so we
Yeah.
get out of a machine.
So for you know, I mean,
And it's gonna give you cancer.
Well, yeah, cancer was all the word.
Right, and stones in your
Cancer
bladder
was
and
just a
shit.
zodiac back then.
Exactly. But yeah, it's hard for, I think it's hard for them to imagine like us in our 30s and, you know, us going through different struggles that they never had to experience. So they're obviously bestowing all that, like, yo, don't do this because whatever. But it's just like, yo, you were 30 back in the 70s or like the, or 50s or whatever.
The
You know
80s,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like life was completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they at least have to I would hope that they respect that notion. You know what I'm saying?
Some
like, your
do.
30, your 30's not my 30.
Some
Yeah.
do, but others are just so hard headed and they really
facts.
want to live through you and they want to be able to say like, my child does this to other
Yep,
people.
that's the big
what
thing.
they want.
Oh,
They
yeah,
want to be
the
able to
bragging
boast
rights.
and brag about you.
Yep, that's
But-
basically what it is. Because I would recall, like, when I was still living at the house, and they would pick up phone calls from, like, family friends or just family in general, and they'd be like, oh, how's Steven? He's okay. Nothing else. Nothing else.
He's
Nothing.
okay.
He's okay.
Fucked up.
He's
The
okay.
shade.
Because they know, like, okay, there wasn't really nothing to brag about.
Right.
Like, he's not working at this, you know, big company.
He
or
can be-
this.
Oh yeah, parents love to brag to other
Yeah.
parents, or other family members.
Right.
And they'll always bring that up in arguments, too. It's like, well, my friend at work his son is doing such... Fuck his son. I don't give a fuck what he's doing.
Right. And his son's probably also a piece of shit to them. Or like
Word.
an asshole to his wife or
Word,
a woman
yeah,
beater,
son,
you know?
He's just waiting for you to fucking get old to put your ass in the home.
Right.
I'm holding it down.
I'm not.
Yikes. The answer is yikes.
The answer is you're going in the home with the nurse wiping your ass.
Well, I'll pay for the nurse.
I'm not.
I gotta hold it down. Mom's is the OG.
I would have did that for my dad. My mom, I don't talk to.
Well, that ends that question. Let's see. What else do we have here? Okay. Relationships. What do you look at relationships now in your 30s as opposed to in your 20s?
I'm sorry, say that again. I totally didn't.
Zoned out.
Yeah. No, I saw a mention that. I thought it was somebody else, and I was like, oh god.
So in your 30s, how do you look at relationships as in comparison to your 20s?
Do what I say, or I'm not gonna be with you. I'm just kidding.
I mean, hey,
It is. It kind of is.
you
I
really
know what I
gotta
want.
Put your foot down. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what I want, and if you are not coming with me,
Mhm.
then you can stay behind.
Talk about it.
You're
Speak
not
on
going
it.
to tell me. There's not. But I've always been that way. Nobody's gonna tell me what to do, how to do it, where to go, how to dress, who to be with, when to go, none of that. So you're either on. But with me, I mean, you still have to respect the person.
Of course.
And there's a level of respect, but like I told you, I don't want to get married. I don't want any more kids. So I know what I want, and if you want to be there, you're there, and he's still there. So I guess he's still cool with it.
Ain't nobody gonna hold me down.
Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
You can purchase this song for $1.99. So are there any significant red flags at this point for okay, this is not gonna work. I gotta go. You're not the one. I'm out.
Right now?
You're not the
Just
one.
in general.
And in my relationship?
Just in general speaking. Because I think when you're in your 20s, there's certain things that you won't tolerate. And then when you get older, you're like, this was stupid.
I got cheated on by the nigga I'm with right now. Twice. Not one.
Whoa, a nigga not being trash or being trash? I'm shocked.
I heard that black men don't cheat and it was a lie.
He was mixed.
Who started that rumor?
He was mixed.
He was mixed.
He wasn't full.
No, so I stayed. Shit.
Okay.
Don't go out with Drake. I already told you.
Nah, I wouldn't tolerate getting cheated on again.
Fair.
At all.
I mean,
I think that's a red flag for everybody.
Yes. Cheating is a big. big flag.
I think everything can be worked through though.
True.
Everyone has moods. Everyone goes through shit. And it has. If you're going through something, you can work it out if that's the person you're supposed to be with. But I wish he would cheat again.
What? Is that a threat or is that a promise?
That is both. Wish he would.
When a woman wishes you would do something, please don't.
Don't. No, we're not on that anymore. I don't think he's on that anymore. But I know that it's a big change for us now. Doing what I'm doing, I'm very open, and I talk about everything, and he knows that I'm very open.
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult for him too. So I have to take into consideration how his feelings might feel sometimes when I'm saying certain things.
Fair.
Has that happened to you?
What?
Like you, I guess, think about shit that you say on the show, and then since you're in a relationship, or you just.
I'm very mindful of what I say.
Cause I was shook as fuck when Nieema wanted to talk about positive sides of cheating last week.
Yeah, no, I can.
Positive what?
I'm very happy I was not on that episode. I mean, okay, let me rewind. 1, in a relationship. 2, I've cheated before in my past. Right? So.
With this girl?
No. I'm talking about in my
Oh, he
past
said that quick.
relationship. Yeah.
No.
And.
No.
Oh.
The camera should run that
So,
on you for that one.
if I gotta jump in front of this camera and say nope. Yeah, but yeah, so I've cheated before, so I know what that is. You know what I'm saying? But the positive side, nah.
What was the positive side?
I would have had to opt out
Give me
of
one.
that whole conversation.
What was one?
I need
Something
one.
about polyandry, and if you get a hall pass, then it's acceptable.
No, man.
Communication, if you communicate it out. No, thank you.
I was on the opposite.
That's
end.
not cheating.
I was on the opposite end of everything.
That's
It just
an
felt like
open
one
relationship.
big bear trap,
Yeah.
and I was not about to take that bait.
Yeah, I'm good.
So,
Yeah, I was all the way good.
yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
It was a fun conversation to listen to.
Yeah, it was.
I'm
Yeah,
just glad I wasn't there.
yeah.
Some people are open with their relationships, but that's an open relationship.
Yeah.
That's not cheating.
And then like I had said, like there are some women that look at cheating differently.
Mhm.
Because in terms of like, if he just sleeps with the girl, then you still fucked up, but they'll take him back. But if he was like cheating, investing money, spending extra time with her, like, and then
Yeah, I mean, I can say that. It's true.
Yeah,
Part of the reason
yeah.
why I did stay was like there was no actual relationship.
yeah,
Right. He just was
There
getting
was
his
some
rocks
talking,
off.
but I saw it and it was all bullshit.
He
And
just got his
so-
rocks off and kept him pushing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's not talk about this.
Okay.
I
Triggering.
leave tomorrow morning and I might just do something
Trigger
stupid.
warning. I don't want.
It triggers me. It triggers me.
Look, man, if you ever find a dead body, we know who did it.
No, I'm not. I told you the broom, man. The broom.
Headline will read.
What? All right, I
I'm
just
not
got the
killing
crazy
nobody.
visual.
Headline's gonna be
All right.
Florida man gets killed by podcast.
She gonna start walking around the house with just a broom for no reason.
Oh
There's
my
nothing to
God.
clean. Just circling around him like a shark.
Oh my God, no.
Just
I'm
tapping the broom on the fucking wall while she walked down the hallway. Like a fucking horror movie.
No, man, no. I'm not going to jail. And I'm not going to jail for no man.
Have fun today, right? Okay. College. Do you feel as though
It's
college?
bullshit.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
That's the
That's what
energy
I'm
you want.
fucking-
That's how I feel, but it's not necessarily true. So there's
I
some
agree.
things that you need college for.
Doctors.
For me to have
specialists,
made what I
yeah.
was making as an accountant, I needed college. And
Makes
it
sense.
definitely helped me. But there's so many things you don't need college for.
Facts.
Like you can teach yourself. You can, and also the thing is that entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
Also
And I
true.
wish people will understand that owning your own business is not for everyone.
Also true.
Every business needs a great secretary. Every business needs a great manager. Everybody needs a great VP of whatever, you know? So
That's
not
right.
everyone is an entrepreneur, and for some positions you do need school, or you can work your way up, but it'll take you 10 years when you could just went to school for 4 and worked for an extra 3. You know, it saved you 3-4 years.
Yeah, I don't fuck with college.
But god damn, those student
Yep.
loans.
My
Yeah.
big thing is the loans. Then you're forced to take classes that has nothing to do with your major, which
At all.
that
Like
doesn't make
humanities.
sense. Yeah, like that doesn't make fucking sense to me. Like I was a computer science major and I was taking advanced art. Like why?
Well, computer
why?
science, art. I think those.
No,
two
it
go
was
together.
no, not advanced. It was history of art.
I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, in general, these are supposed to make you more well-rounded people.
Yeah, so you
but
know
at
where
the same
things
time-
come from, and like if you watch the history of it, you know how it
You're
evolved.
both
history,
sounding very rational.
but wait, history always repeats itself, so you kind of need to know the history of what you're doing because
The
it
history of art.
It might. I don't know shit about art. I am not
I
artistic.
think Steve was basically saying that Google is his best friend in that department.
True. So if it's something you can teach,
I
them,
see
then
art
you
on
can do it.
Instagram every day. People be painting away, painting their little lives away.
Whatever. Some people need college, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it wasn't for me.
And
It's
try to
definitely-
keep the student loans as low as possible.
Yeah, that's
Just
why
paid off
my
student
big-
loans this past
Yeah,
month.
my biggest
You
re-
finished paying them?
Done, son.
Yes, that's a big clap right
Yeah.
there.
Now
My biggest
credit
re-
card debts. Credit card
But
debts.
still, that's something off of you. I
no,
still
of
got
course.
65,000.
It's not a contest, my dear.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
not a contest.
Like,
I got 17 and I haven't paid a dime, but still.
Oh
Did
my
you shake it
God.
with that 17? Like,
Ugh.
Ooh.
Diddy
It's a
bopping
lot.
with that. I mean, look. At the end of the day, that is something that unless you're like really in the hole, it's not impossible to like
No.
tackle. You know what I'm saying?
You can do
Yeah.
it. I have a great book, Total Money Makeover, by Dave Ramsey. He's a financial advisor. I love that book, and it's helped me save money and get my mind to the point where it's like it's cool, quote unquote, struggle for a year while you're paying everything off, and how you feel when you're done or when you, accomplish certain things. Damn, that feels good. Sometimes
it's like a weight lifted off your
It feels
shoulders.
so good just hitting the submit button to that last payment and saying,
Yes!
"Fuck you, Nathan. Fuck you, bro."
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Very true.
Yeah. Listen, it's still soon. It just happened.
So, do you have advice for people that's considering continuing their education at 30?
Do it. Go. My sister went to law school at 30.
That's what's up.
She went to school right after high school, and she had gotten her, I think, marketing or something, and she started a business, didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. At 30, she went back to school, and now she's an attorney with her own practice. So, yes, if that's what you want to do, and that is your passion, do it. I don't care if you're 40, 45.
Yeah,
Go.
I've seen older people in
People,
class.
how old are your parents?
My parents
On the
hit
cusp of
70s.
60.
How old are yours?
My pops is about to be 70.
Right, 70. There's people 80. My grandma's 85. So if she would have went to school at 45, graduated at 49, she still had, another 30, 20 years in her career?
Mm-hmm.
Being happy? Yeah, like, just go to school. If that's what you want to do,
Right.
go. If there's a trade school, go to the trade school. If you have to
That's the
intern.
one thing I wish I did,
Trade.
was go to good trade school as opposed to college.
Oh.
Why don't you do it now?
I'm trying to be lit off of podcasting. What are you talking about?
He ain't got no time for UTI.
DeVry.
Wait, is DeVry
The Bronx not a
accredited?
trade school.
Is it?
No.
I thought DeVry was one of them not accredited schools that you get a degree in
Yeah,
and
there
you
you
can't
go.
do shit with.
Unless you want to go to ICDC like your man.
Like Romeo?
Like Romeo.
Oh, man.
Spit a verse.
We see where his career is going.
Right. He's always doing
Wanna
dumb
follow
shit because his
his
daddy rich as
footsteps.
fuck.
Oh,
You
boy.
too could be rapping in a commercial for a college that you don't
So
care
what are
about.
you
No
doing to
thanks.
be lit off podcast?
Podcasting.
Right, every week. What are you doing outside of it? Like, what are you doing something extra? Like, what? How are you going above and beyond?
Nothing yet, because I just started a new job, so I'm trying to get my feet settled in that first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to start doing some research and, expanding.
You can do the research while you got the new job.
This is true, but my job is very demanding.
You got time. You got a girlfriend?
Yes.
Do you fuck?
Yes.
You got time to research.
No excuses.
I don't know if she'll take that.
What time do you go to sleep?
What's that, like 9, 10?
Wrong answer. That's just never. Never sleep.
No, you gotta sleep a little bit, but maybe one night out of the week. Go to sleep a little bit later and take 2 hours to research and start putting out a plan.
Okay.
There's so many things you can do. We have 24 hours in a day.
You got 24 hours to live. I'll probably.
right,
you know
stop.
what?
Ooh, you coming with the songs.
It's the words. You just say the words,
Relax,
and then the
relax.
lyrics come out, and then
Relax.
it's just like, you know what I'm
Take it
saying?
easy.
Bars.
Take it
Yeah, we all have so much time that we're not devoting to ourselves.
This is true.
Yeah.
And we're doing other things. We're hanging out. We're doing whatever. And I love to hang out. I love to have fun. But sometimes I didn't go to a trip to Thailand. Sometimes I don't go out with my friends. Or there's parties. Or there's all these things that I just don't go to. Because I'm editing. And they're like, oh, Sunday fun day. Oh, and I'm like, I'm editing. Or I'm going to record. Or I am sending out resumes. Or I'm sending out sponsorship emails.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many more things that we can pass up on. And sometimes you might
I
have
could
to
probably
do
use my time a little bit more.
you might have to do a
efficiently.
quickie instead of a full session, you know?
Gotta make some sacrifices.
I'll get back to you on that one. I don't know if she'll co-sign that, but okay. What else we got here? So, is there, besides your daughter, is there like a big accomplishment that you are really proud about? Like, what was your biggest accomplishment thus far?
Like a milestone.
Was it leaving the job? Was it the live show? Like, what in your
Um,
career?
I like right now podcasting itself, my live show.
Last
For
year.
sure, my live show. It was hectic. It was scary.
Mhm.
It was all of that, but it ended up being more than I could have ever asked for. And I never thought I would be able to. When you say 80 people, I sometimes compare myself to other people, and I'm like, oh, that's like Joe Budden podcast sold out 1,500, but that's Joe Budden.
Yeah.
I'm Carla.
Yeah.
You know, so when I look at myself, I never thought that I would be able to in Orlando
Mhm.
be able to bring 80 people.
And they're not even, all of them wasn't even from Orlando.
No, and there were a
Word.
lot from Tampa. That's an hour and a half ride. It was a lot, and for me, and doubled what my expectations were, and everything went perfect.
No, that's a win in my book.
So you guys get to doing yours.
Yeah, we gotta jump on that.
Next year, top of the year.
Yeah, 2019 vibes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We'll be.
I think it's not even a matter of just being afraid to do it, but I think we just gotta do it and see what happens. I think we might doubt ourselves a little too much. I personally feel we're doubting ourselves. I think we could pull off something good.
Try it. I mean,
New
York is expensive.
It is.
But you can do something small.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I did mine small. I didn't go out and rent out the Amway where the Magic play. You know, I didn't just
you could have.
Nah, I mean I could.
You could have. No one's stopping you.
Yeah, it is. My bank account. I looked at it. It's gonna be like, halt, bitch. You can only get one seat out the stadium. That's it.
That's one special guest.
Yeah. You look, we ain't doing this shit in no parking lot.
Right. And the
Gather around, children. Gather around.
I know the train is mad loud. But...
Listen, if I would have had to do it outside with a screen and a stage in a park, I probably would have done that too. Bring chairs and do it outside. It is what it is. Yeah. You can find your own vibe and your own thing, but that was definitely my biggest accomplishment. Quitting my job, of course, it's scary, and I'm still scared every day because I don't know when that next check is gonna come from. Yeah, but I planned it so I had 6 months set, so I have 6 months.
Smart.
And the worst thing that can happen is I gotta get a job if something happens.
Right. And who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Jobs.
I mean job as in accounting again, which I really don't think. I don't know. I can't do that again. I might have to.
It's a lot.
I won't do that again.
I mean, we hear from your homegirl Mandy. She got hours.
I was corporate. She is in public accounting, and I would never do that accounting. And I told her that when she started going back to school for it, and I said, "Ma'am, you see my hours, and I work crazy hours." And she kept going for it, but that's what she wanted to do. And she saw how crazy it was, and then she started her job, and she's like, "Damn, you weren't lying." And I was like, "Yeah, bitch, you saw me at 11 o'clock at night, still sitting at my desk."
Told you.
But some people love it. Some people love that I work. People that loved it.
I couldn't.
The same way we love being in front of this mic. Some people just love crunching numbers and being on spreadsheets.
Hey.
And that's their personality. That's, like I said, there's a passion for everyone.
Coins beget coins, my friend.
They don't think about it with money. I don't think about money when I'm sitting in front of a microphone. I don't think about money when I'm thinking. When I left and I wanted to do radio, I was willing to have a pay cut. I'm totally willing to, but I'm not going to. But I'm willing to. Because it's what I love.
So do you have like a big regret or anything that you wish you would have done differently?
I don't live with regrets. Everything that I've done in my past has led me to where I am today. Everything, every fight, every up, every down, every fuck up, every person that I'm not friends with anymore, new friends that I have don't have any regrets. They've shaped me to be who I am.
That's what's up.
And then I can talk about it.
Cool.
And give me more content.
I'm thinking about that. You ever seen that movie, We're the Millers? And the white kid had no regrets tattooed on him, and it was spelled wrong.
Oh yes.
No regrets, like some shit.
I did see that.
I was laughing by him. Sorry.
That would suck.
That's just pure.
Every time I get a tattoo, I'm like, God, please don't fuck it up. Like, please don't fuck this up.
It's a toss-up.
It is.
I want another one. I kind of wanted to do it before I went back home, but I don't think I will be.
Yeah, you're definitely not gonna have time.
Yeah. Unless you get one of those like corner tattoo spots.
Oh my God, no.
No.
Like literally, like somebody on the corner just like, you want a tattoo? Like,
yeah.
$20. I'll do whatever you want for free. Like,
nah.
So the premise of your show is basically, hitting 30 and all the changes that you've done in your life.
Highlighting the real of other people's lives. So like I said, I've had strippers, I have a plastic surgeon, I've had financial advisors, I've had an attorney, I've had some other podcasters. So just I had radio personalities, highlighting everyone's way to success or their life, their path. Because everyone is different and it's okay if you don't know. Like I'll ask people, do you want to have kids? And they're like, I don't know yet. And that's okay. Do you want to get married? I don't know. That's cool. Are you doing what you love? No. That's fine, but are you working towards getting to know what you love? So I just like different people that have different ways of life and different ways of thinking. That's what the show really is about. Because there's some people that aren't 30 yet that listen to it. There's some people that are over 30 that listen to it.
Well, because the point, well, not the point, but what I was trying to get to was like, because this 30 is like this big number that society just has for whatever reason. Yeah. But I feel like it's kind of different when it comes to the sexes. Like, I guess, because women have this, biological clock is ticking.
Mm-hmm.
So they're supposed to have kids and supposed to be married. And I don't think men are put under the same sort of constraints.
80-year-old men over here having babies. Old dusty dicks.
Well, okay.
Like,
That's a
men can have babies whenever. Women can't. So, yes, women do kind of have a biological clock. But there's things for that. You can freeze your eggs. There's...
But even just from an overall thing,
Well,
it's
women
like...
also mature a little faster than men. So, I mean, I think in the sense
Yeah,
that
but there's never, like... I don't think you never hear the conversation of men like, look, you're 30, like, you need to be doing X, Y,
they
Z.
do. There's certain men that they're like, why aren't you married yet? Why don't you have 35-year-old, 36-year-old? Why don't you have kids yet?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still out here hoeing? Or stuff like that. They want them to settle down. Like, family does. A lot of people do. So men do get it, just not as much as women.
Right. I think the pressures apply a little bit more with women because there's the standards that is placed society-wise, whatever.
Right.
That at this certain point in time, you're supposed to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If not, then what is your life?
Yeah, so like, even in that, so if a woman surpasses that age and she don't have it, all those things that society says you're supposed to have, you kind of look down upon.
Yeah.
As opposed to men, they don't get the
there's plenty fuck-ups out there. Now, think about your parents. When they say, you're what, you said 31?
Mm-hmm.
Does he say, like, oh, it's cool, like, you're 31? No, they'll tell you, like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you getting it done yet? Like, why aren't you this and that? People still judge. People are always going to judge you. It's more about, the show is just getting rid of the bullshit expectations from society and other people's. Don't worry about anybody's expectations but your own.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Set your own goals. Like, they really are bullshit.
Yeah. I'd never cared for any of their expectations.
No.
You've made it this far.
This is true.
You're still alive, you're still healthy, and you're still able to walk, and you're still able to work. Keep doing it.
Yeah, keep that going.
Do all of that, but more.
Yeah, right.
Set goals, of course.
Of course. You gotta have goals. Where are we? So, what are some of your future short-term goals?
Radio is one. And...
What does that look like for you? Like, paint us a picture.
Well, right now, I am one of 2 other contenders for a morning radio show in Orlando.
Dope.
So if it's not that one, it'll be another one. I feel like, honestly, God will open the door for me for whatever it is for me.
If you need us to send threats to them to make sure you...
No, that's not me.
I think Florida.
I already told you, Florida. There's plenty of crazy people in Florida. Don't worry about it.
I don't think we have to lift one finger.
No, if it's for me, it's for me. If not, I'm still networking. I'm still talking. So to me, my future is this. Short term is getting in radio. Short term is keep growing the podcast.
Word. And
keep helping also a lot of charity work. So the podcast platform, I really want to do it. Like my live show, all the money that came in went to charity, Girls on the Run. So that was the first one. Second one, I'm just doing bullshit. But I do want to use the podcast to reach out to my community. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And use my time because I don't have a job. So I got plenty of time to volunteer my time.
I see how you got this shit set up. Long-term goals?
Be rich as fuck.
Ooh. So what does shit I'm 40 look like?
Fuck, I'm 40.
Ooh. Oh, she already got contingency plans.
Oh, I like this branding that's going on here.
I like the alliteration.
Copyright it.
Like
Copyright it.
Right?
All right,
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah. Fucking 40.
But hopefully I'll have my brand and my name will hold. I want to be a household name.
Because believe me, some 40-year-olds need help.
And some 50-year-olds need the help. Like, everybody needs help at a certain point in time. Everybody dips. You'll find, I've seen people that were realtors, and they were so successful, and now they're 50, and the shit went down, and they lost everything. Now they have to start over. And they kill themselves because of that. And it's like, it's cool, you can start over. It's perfectly fine.
But do you believe in that whole, like, that's saying, like, 30's the new 20, and 40's the new 30? Like, do you
30
believe
is
in
30, 20, it's all in your head. We look good now because there's new, like, face creams and facials. No, I mean in real life. In real life. People are taking more care of themselves. And with medicine being advanced, like, we're just living longer. So it's a little bit different. So it's not that 30 is the new 20. It's just we starting to look good. Shit, look at J-Lo. 49 and looking like a whole snack.
I seen that picture.
Well,
God
genes and DNA are a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to our people, of course.
Yeah, but you still gotta play your part.
You still have to eat well. You still
because
have to
I've seen
exercise.
people younger than me that look like absolute
shit.
trash. And that's because they out every night smoking God knows what.
Eating burgers, fried
not
wings
taking
all the
care of
time.
themselves at all.
So eating healthy, taking care of yourself. When you turn 30, you'll feel young. I feel damn good.
And in all of this, like your transitions from your 20s to your 30s.
I've lost some friends. And
Sis, you wasn't the one.
In more ways than one, or just like just in the sense of like your growth and maturity, like.
Yes, you've grown apart from certain people. If you don't, I realized my passion. I knew where I wanted to go, and some people were still bullshitting.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't sit here and be friends with someone who has no goals and is stagnant because it just rubs off on you. And then they start thinking that you think you're better than them, and it's just like, I'm not better than you. I want you to do this with me. Right. I want you to do what is your passion? What is your goal? Let's do it together. Let me help you. You can help me. We can do this together. So Mandy and I have been friends for years, like 7 years maybe.
You dealt with him for 7 years?
But we weren't that close.
I mean,
we were fine, but we weren't that close.
Mm-hmm.
We just knew each other. We worked in certain things, and then I have lost certain friends, and her and I within the last year. Well, I came to New York 3 years ago maybe, but no, within the last year we became so close because we both our lives have aligned towards the same thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I lost some that were like this to me like every day, and it hurts, but it's just like I can't be around that. So friendships are really important, who you keep around you. And I've gained some friends, and like I said, lost them. And if they gotta go, they gotta go. Because they're holding you back.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
We were talking about that with our whole frenemy episode, just like the concept of people that there for you but not there for you. But
they're there for you when it's their benefit.
Of course.
Right.
Like, yeah, we on the same level, everything's cool. Now I see you starting to move different, you starting to level up. Now it brings out an insecurity in myself. Yes. And so instead of me trying to change how I feel, I'm going to put all that negative energy towards you.
Right, or instead of talking shit about
Look
you.
Look at Carla and her ambition.
Right, like, ew.
Trying to be happy and shit.
Like, she's in New York networking. Oh my, who the fuck does she think she is? What? I can't come to New York. I can't want to better myself. I can't be want to be in a bigger network. I bet you if you was telling some
crazy story about how you was sleeping with mad niggas or whatever, they would probably eat that shit
up.
Shit,
they tune in. If I'm talking about how I failed, or if something happens and it goes back, then they want to tune in. And it's like, oh, she didn't do well with this. Exactly. No. Like, what's wrong with me wanting more? There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm going to go as far as I can, and I'm going to use every door that opens. I'm walking right through it, and if the door slides behind you, sorry, bye.
And nobody should feel guilty for wanting more.
No. I
think a lot of people do feel guilty. This is like shit. Like, I'm trying to do whatever, and they feel bad for the people they leave behind. But it's like, fuck that noise, bro. Like
they can be there right along with you, and they can want more for themselves.
Everyone has a choice. Everyone has a choice.
Yeah, you got mad.
I'm in the same mood. I don't know.
So before we wrap things up, how many questions you got here? So, how do you survive your 30s? How do you win your 30s? And how do you make 30s your bitch?
The art of not giving a fuck.
Full circle.
I wish you could drop your mic right now, but you can't.
No, then I probably gotta pay for it.
Not on mics. Don't drop your mics.
Drops. Right. Just don't give a fuck about what anybody else thinks. Listen to them. Get a mentor. Get someone that's better than you. Always put yourself in a room where you're not the smartest person. I always want to be in a room where I'm definitely not the smartest person because I want to learn from people all the time. There's always so much more you can learn. Even the smartest person in the room he's dumb. He shouldn't be there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just surround yourself with really smart people and don't give a fuck about those that aren't there for you, really.
That's a great point that you bring up. Do you feel as though there's a lack of, like, those sort of leaders in our communities? And that's why we kind of... You see these generations keep making the same mistakes over and over because I don't
think people are asking for it. They're not. You need to speak what you want. I want you to mentor me. I want you to teach me how to do A, B, and C. Not I want to be you. Right. I need you for this. How can I get here? And like, how can you help me decide what to do here? Or I have these two options. I need your help. Speak up to whoever it is that you want. That's what I did with Charlemagne. Right. He has been my idol for years, and he's just the person that I love his life and how it's gone. And even though we come from different backgrounds, it's like I want to be who you are and be where you are, in my own lane, of course. Mm-hmm. So when I went to him, I took that leap and I said, I want you to mentor me, and I'm about to do A, B, and C. I need your help in getting there mentally. Mm-hmm. And he said, okay. I asked for it. If I never asked for it, I could have sent a DM.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Right, he gets a million DMs. I had to fly in somewhere and find him.
You have to DM
To ask
him in
him.
real life.
Oh, when he finally followed me and I had DM'd him, there was probably about 20,000 DMs that I had sent him from before, but he never would have seen. Because that goes into that little hidden inbox where if they don't follow you.
One that people barely check. And if
they
don't.
Like,
oh, you're a hair brand.
Right.
Fan,
no, and there's so many in there. They have no need to like look into there. So you have to make yourself stand out. So if there's someone that you look up to and they're doing what you want to do. Don't do it because they're successful, but they're doing what you want to do, and that's who you've researched and who you're looking up to. Then find them. Speak up to them and say what you want. And be clear about your intentions.
You'd be surprised.
You never
What
know
the worst that
until
can
you
happen is
find
if they say no.
Yeah.
And then you just go find another one.
Or you get really sad and then you just think like life is over.
No, but it's not.
I know.
Yeah, you can get sad for a second and then pick yourself back up. If you have a bad day, I've had bad days recently, and I'm in bed and I don't want to get up, and I'm just like, fuck this, I'm going to eat.
And then you just look at the broom like...
And I hate you.
Oh, man.
Fuck that broom.
Word.
Actually dope.
I really don't want to be putting that in the room.
No one wants to fuck brooms here.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
okay, so last question. How would one, successfully transition from their 20s to their 30s? Because I think for a lot of us, we kind of just, you're
Start
young.
planning.
You're young, you're just living, you're like, yo, I got time to do this, that, and the third, and then, I'm 30.
Right, shit.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Branding.
Branding.
I like that.
That's a plug.
I think that if in your 20s and you're conscious of what you're doing, maybe at 28, 29, start getting a plan. And if it happens where you're like, shit, I'm 30 and it's not together, don't freak out. Just don't freak out. It's fine. You're just 30. It's shit, I'm 30, but we're just 30. So stop looking at it as I'm so old now. No. If you fucked off in your 20s, now you're 30, you're like, shit, I didn't get it together, but now let me start now. And get the plan and get it going. Don't say, shit, I'm 30, okay, wait, fuck it, I'll wait till I'm 40. No. Just start now. Whenever you decided, well, there's 35 that you listen to, say somebody's listening to this right now, they're 36. And they're like, shit, I'm already 6 years past. So what? Shit, I'm 36. Now I'll start. And by the time I'm 37, I'll be a year into my plan. So just plan.
I had a crazy thought. I'm thinking, like, in the sense of 30, in the sense of life, okay, I'm thinking about life expectancy, right?
30's not even half of your life.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, like, when, like, generations before, like, 30 was around, like, the cap of life expectancy back then because of certain circumstances. So for a lot of people then, 30 was like, oh, if I didn't make it by 30, shit, my life could potentially be over because, life and times were different. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, if you haven't accomplished these things or you haven't gotten to this level, then it's like your life is basically over, more or less, because it's like, expectancy-wise, 30 was like the cap. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm trying to get rid of. Those expectations and that false sense of reality about when you turn 30. It's not real. And it doesn't pertain to us now in this generation. Or the generations to
And that's
come.
probably the big thing that I read in, like, the 4 Agreements is to just live your truth. You can't live anybody else's truth because it just may not apply to you.
And when you think about that truth as someone from years ago that maybe 30 was their
Completely
cap,
different life experience.
That's not our truth.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before. Your 30 is not my 30, so relax.
Yeah.
Like, we have Wi-Fi. We lit. You have to walk 12 miles to school, not me.
Right. And we have Uber.
Yeah.
You don't have, you don't own a car? No, but I got Uber app.
Right.
Yeah, like, people will look at me, but like, why you don't have a car? It's like, I live in New York City. That's one.
Right.
2, I can just order one on my phone. Just don't be broke.
You mad because you just had your feet? Like,
Right.
sorry.
Yeah, no. We're
Womp
all
womp.
good.
But that's our show. I want to thank Carla for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell the good people when you drop your episodes.
Every Tuesday on a monthly basis, I sometimes drop 1 or 2 extra episodes, especially now that I got plenty of time.
Okay.
So every Tuesdays, everywhere you listen to podcasts, and then you can find it. It's Shit I'm 30 Podcast, and find it on Instagram as well, Shit I'm 30 Podcast, or myself, Carla Wilmaris, on Twitter and Instagram.
Nice.
Coming to the radio waves near you soon.
Yes, and when I do, I'm gonna tell you guys.
Manifest.
And we better be a guest on like your first episode.
Yes, well, I got this.
Oh, we gotta go to Florida for that though?
Yeah, y'all gotta come to Florida.
I'll bring my bulletproof vest.
Just I'd like to bring your whole bullet.
I'm about to buy me a fucking Iron Man suit. Just to make sure I'm safe.
I live in Disney World. It's cool.
Oh, we lit.
Oh, okay.
No, be careful. Orlando can be dangerous.
Well.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. It's really.
You just tell her when you land.
You know what? I'll just bring my broom and everything's gonna be A-okay. Just start tapping it anytime I feel insecure, and everything's gonna be alright.
Maybe people
just fine.
Stick them off like the hogs, like yo.
No, you guys
I'm gonna even paint a little face on it, like fucking Tom Hanks did, the Castaway.
Oh my Castaway Wilson.
No, grab the strap. We got the broom. We good.
You guys make a trip down to Florida for sure.
Yes, we gotta go on tour.
Facts.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people just everywhere, and you just gotta knock shit out.
Yeah, you can find dope ass guests.
Yeah. But again, want to thank Carla for coming through.
Thank
you. What do we have to tell the good people?
Well, first of all, shout outs to the listeners. Shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to Miss Bianca. She is.
Oh yeah, our great executive producer who outlined this episode. Because without her, this show is nothing. I mean, truly, honestly, truly.
Honestly, truly, yes.
Shout out to Nieema. Also, I know she was dying to be here, but she couldn't. But I'm
sorry, Nieema.
We'll do this again. We'll definitely do this again.
Yes.
So yeah, shout out our listeners. Shout out to the fellow podcasters because I know y'all fuck with us heavy. Check the website. Check us out on Instagram.
Join the group chat, please. I am tired of slacking these
join
funny
us on
ass shits.
Slack.
I need someone to laugh at these shits. I put a lot of time going on Twitter on the timeline, finding these funny shits for y'all to laugh at, and nobody's there, son. It's not easy.
Join the Slack room. Email us. DM us. And
start asking us questions. I want to give advice. I think we should just give advice.
Yeah. I mean, our advice is...
Tell them to email you.
Yeah.
You already email?
Yeah.
Oh. Probably could push them a little bit our way.
Yeah, because
let's get a man's perspective.
If there's somebody that is you read this email, it's whoa, way too spicy. Let's send it to them. They might be...
We'll ruin their life accordingly.
Exactly. It's too much for me, sis. Forward that email real fast.
So, again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next week.
Word. Later, y'all.
Well,
we are out here. Fuck y'all talking about? Sophisticated ignorance. Are y'all fucking crazy?
That's a fact. Talk
Are y'all
that shit.
crazy? Yo, y'all getting me tight. I be out here trying to be humble. Let's not get fucking crazy. Sophisticated ignorance.